Well, guess who decided to show up again? It's us. It's me, your host,
What's this guy?
Steve.
Only one
We
person.
we got this guy, Mr. Johnson.
He's Mr.
Caught him
Johnson
off guard. Caught him off. Don't worry about that. Don't worry
I
about
was
that.
just like,
Asking
what?
too much questions.
Yeah. Why you asking all them questions?
Mr. Woods.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
You've joined us again. You've graced us with your presence.
Some would say.
Okay.
Only
Okay.
you. Not
Your
some.
grace.
Your grace.
Right.
All right. Well, we are you are back at On the Reel, and we are going to try a new format today. We constantly like to switch things up. You know, we're crazy like a fox.
We're tinkering.
There you go.
Trying
And
to figure it out.
today we want to do something a little different, and we want to talk about the news of the week. So what trailers came out? What was released on Netflix? So you know you can chill.
I see what you did there.
Did you?
All
Did you
right.
know?
Uh,
I like to describe my weekends as all Netflix, no chill. But we're gonna start things off by talking about a little trailer that came out that goes by the name of New Mutants. And I'll just start things off here. I am very interested in what Fox is doing. I think that while I love everything that Marvel's doing,
Okay.
and I wish DC would get their act together, I'm almost glad that Fox has the X-Men franchise just so we can get something different, because they're not afraid to say, hey, here's a rated R movie, and we got a comedy with Deadpool, we got a hard drama like a Western, Johnny Cash style Western with Logan, and now they're going to give us a horror movie with the New Mutants.
This is rated
not
R.
really horror, but like a thriller.
No, definitely horror. Definitely got a horror vibe.
This is rated R.
Are people dying in it? Is it really a horror movie? Is it a horror movie?
Yes, it is
Is
a horror
it?
movie. Yes. It's literally the genre says horror.
Mm.
Genre.
I didn't even know it was rated R. I thought it was.
No. So this is New Mutants is PG-13.
Oh, okay.
But my point is, I believe that it doesn't matter. Like, if you look at some of the biggest horror movies that have come out, when you look at The Conjuring or you look at Annabelle, those are PG-13 movies.
The Sixth Sense.
The Sixth Sense. So some of the scariest things, and listen, we live in an age now where a horror movie is not
What
so,
do you
so
consider
much
horror?
about. What do you mean?
Like when you consider a horror movie, because things can be suspense, a thriller, but horror is like
Horror
a
is-
specific genre. To me, horror is like gore.
No,
then lots of
no,
people
that's
dying.
not what horror is anymore. The Conjuring, which is regarded as is the most well-regarded horror movie of last year.
Or things that are
And-
like terrifying. I guess that's horror.
Right. So again, we are no longer in the
But
age.
things can be scary and can be considered suspense.
Yes.
Or a thriller.
well,
Or
so
a suspense thriller or
no,
action.
but the
thriller.
genre of suspense thriller is there is some mystery going on. Horror is a specific genre where you have scares. Sometimes when you're dealing with the supernatural,
Yeah.
or the yes, you have the hack and slash movies,
Yeah.
like the Jason style movies,
Right.
but horror these days generally deals with either the presence of the supernatural or the assumption of the supernatural.
Okay.
And so some movies will scare you and have you think it's a ghost, but there's really no ghost. But my point is, this take on New Mutants is from, I believe, don't quote me on this, and you can look this up. I think it's a Bill Sienkiewicz run, where he told it like, and this is why they start the trailer off with the most dangerous snakes are the young ones because they don't know how to use their venom yet, and these are the New Mutants don't know how to use their powers yet. So it's almost as though their powers are haunting them. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, this take of just because we don't all need like a big explosion at the end, right? And I love what Marvel's doing, but just to see this, if you don't want superhero fatigue, this is how you do it. You you broaden the horizons of what a superhero film can be. And this is a horror movie. And we got a Western with Logan, and we got a comedy with Deadpool. And so I'm all about it.
I mean, it's to the point that comic book movies are to be taken seriously. And they should be up for like Oscar consideration.
Well, I am going to burn it all down if Logan doesn't get some sort of a nomination. I need Patrick Stewart. I need Patrick Stewart to get a Best Supporting Actress. I need
Hugh Jackman should get Best Actor.
Oh, I need the makeup in that thing.
How they aged.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman up?
I don't know. I mean,
unless I heard some joke where he said there wasn't any makeup there. That was literally one time he was on screen with no makeup.
I could believe that. I don't know. I just felt when I saw New Mutants, the trailer, it didn't really pull me in any kind of way. And so I'm not big on, okay, if this trailer is going to detract me or it's going to pull me in. But I was the same way with Logan. I wasn't gonna call you out there, buddy. No.
I couldn't wait till you brought this up. Okay, no. Hold on. You hold on one goddamn minute. I got to tell you folks a story. Okay, so
put context.
Nope, don't need it.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing. The trailer for Logan comes out, right, where they're playing some good old Johnny Cash.
Yep.
And I see it and I know what's going on, and I say, Yabi, this thing is gonna be something different. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year, and Yabi was like, get the F out of my face. Look at what.
Why? But why though?
Why? Hold on, because you said that you were done with the X-Men franchise, and and I said, hold on, did you see the last movie? Did you?
Yeah, it was a robot Silver Samurai.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
True or false?
Yes.
It was a robot
That was
Silver
a
Samurai.
good movie up until the Silver Samurai shit.
Up until the third act.
Yeah.
Right? And so I had my reasons. If they can crap the bed where it looked, good. It was interesting.
They did fuck up the first Wolverine movie.
What was that? What was it called? Wolverine Origins or something like that?
Oh my god.
No, we're not counting that.
No, we are. No, we are. Because I
none of it happened after Days of Future Past.
I have my reasons.
None of that crap happened.
I didn't
it's no longer canon. Now here's the thing.
Reasons why.
Let's get back to the story real quick.
Okay.
So the point is, I tell Mr. Woods, why? Just look at this thing. He's like, I don't need to see the trailer. I don't care. And then I goad him into it because he says, look at what they did with Apocalypse. And I said, hold on, wait. Did you see X-Men Apocalypse? He's like, nah.
No.
No. So I was like, hold on. Wait.
And the people agreed with me.
Hold on. And so I was like, so what are you saying about the X-Men? Like, what bad did they give you other than X3? Right?
Bricks.
No.
Listen,
See, stop it.
No.
You rewriting history now. Cut it out.
X3 wasn't that bad.
Cut the bull crap.
For the action that was in X3, that was as akin to the comic.
And you got Sentinels.
In X3? I don't.
Yeah, remember. Buddy. You got Sentinel.
Yes, yeah,
and you had the Danger Room.
But that's not the point. Let's come back.
And all the reasonings you had in that movie.
My reasonings for not wanting to watch Logan initially was because their films left a bad taste in my mouth.
What films?
Wolverine Origins and the second Wolverine. What was it called? Whatever it was called.
It was called The Wolverine.
It was bad. It was
okay,
called
so
The Brick.
But here's the thing.
And so why should I put my stock into a failed product? Now, here's what happened. Here's what happened.
Watch this. Watch the switch, America.
Steve Johnson put all of his chips, not one, not two, all of his movie credentials into this and put it right on the table and said, all in. He said, Yabi, if you do not like this film, and he didn't even finish the sentence. He just said, if you don't like this film, then I can't say anything. Just go see it. Tell me what you think.
I put my credentials and movie recommendation reputation on the line. I got it. We made it happen. And then I said, hey, you remember your favorite movie, 310 to Yuma? Same director.
Yeah.
And then Mr. Woods said he still didn't believe me because I said, you know what? He was also the one who directed the Wolverine.
And what happened?
And he didn't believe me, so he said, you know what? I will write you an apology letter, and I will eat crow.
No, I didn't. I didn't say all of that.
Hold on, just hold on. Look.
So when is he gonna eat his crow?
So
He's
hold
adding
on.
a lot of extras
So now we go and we watch the movie, and we get to the third act when things are getting crazy, and it's after the somebody gets punched in the face in the car. And he just writes he writes in his phone because he didn't want any record of this because he knew I would have kept the letter. He's like, I'm eating so much crow right now. And I was like, yeah, how does it taste? But on that note.
He wrote it in his phone. He texted it to you?
No, he wouldn't send it.
He just showed it to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did show him.
Yeah.
That was it. But
he didn't want no record. But it's
is
recorded now.
Delete all that shit.
Exactly. But I say all of that to say that New Mutants will probably, hopefully, hope is a dangerous word, but hopefully it will be good.
The real question is what's going to happen with Dark Phoenix, but we're not talking about that right now. What we are talking about is a good old flick and trailer that just came out that goes by the name of Black Mother Effing Panther, Mr. Woods. As a matter of fact, no, because you were the most hyped about this thing. Tell me about the Black Panther.
The Black Panther trailer was amazing. The movie is gonna it's my most anticipated movie of all of this stuff that's coming out
of all time, Craig.
I ain't gonna say of all time, but it is definitely
Black Panther is the top flight security of movies in 2018.
It is the most anticipated movie and one of the most important films that's gonna come out, at least for Black people, in the year of 2018. It's like we've never seen this on film, just the juxtaposition of tribalism and futuristic.
We've seen tribalism, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, whatever you mean. Whatever, you know the words.
No. You said the right word, but I'm saying the
outside.
context of tribalism in today's world. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the good Black Panther. Mr. Woods.
Sir.
Tell me what you thought about the Black Panther.
I wasn't as excited as LeVar was, but I feel like I should be.
Can you give that back to me, please?
This shirt?
No, your black card. I'll take it, please. Thanks. I'll have that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you can take it. But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to the film. I really am. And I'm just curious to see what story is going to be played out, because there's a couple of avenues that you can go with.
They gave it all away, really.
Because it's been.
I don't think so. I don't think they gave away
They
too
didn't
much.
show you, but
They
it's
didn't
just
give
like
anything away.
I think they gave random shots, but I don't know.
They gave
what
random shots, but I know the whole premise of the movie. It's just like, just from watching the trailer, I get that, okay, he's new to becoming the Black Panther, right? He's wearing an old costume. Then the girl that he goes and daps up and does that secret handshake that every black person is going to be doing after they see that movie.
Mr. Woods did not like that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, everybody's going to be doing that. I condone it.
Don't clone it.
I'm going to be doing it. Fuck that.
Don't.
It's the new handshake.
No, it's not. Don't do that.
But anyway, that girl, she's responsible. She's like his Lucius Fox, basically.
Right.
She's the one that makes the technology. Denai Guerrera from Walking Dead. She is the head of the Dora Milaje, which is the guard for the Black Panther. If you notice, like, all his guard is like women.
Right.
Which is very interesting, because in the lion pack, the women do the hunting.
Right.
So that's very interesting. Well, basically, Eric Killmonger, why he has an American accent is because he was exiled. So I guess he grew up over here, and then he's trying to come back.
And how dope is that idea? Is like, we don't want you here. We're gonna send you to whack ass America.
Yeah. So he's trying to come back, and he wants to rule. So he gets his own technology.
Killmonger is played by
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, he's gonna. Okay. So
Creed.
All right, I got you.
Well, anyway.
So that's one of the storylines that they're going.
Black Johnny Storm.
Don't remind people. He doesn't even want you to remind.
Try to look.
Well, basically,
I'm just saying there is a future in the MCU for Johnny Storms. Because Johnny Storm has been.
So he's going to be
Captain
Killmonger
America.
and then.
No, I'm just saying he's been. Johnny Storm has graduated to
What do you
Captain
mean?
America.
Okay.
And now Johnny Storm has graduated to Killmonger in the good MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the recycled.
Hey man, you got to find him somewhere. So Killmonger comes back. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Is what you're talking about? Is this from the Ta-Nehisi Coates run?
The Ta-Nehisi Coates run. There's a point in the comics where it does happen that Killmonger tries to become the Black Panther, but he tries to. How the Black Panther gets his power is he eats this special heart-shaped herb, and
Okay.
it's like. But
That's
if
not
you are
Ta-Nehisi
not,
Coates. That's before him, I believe. That was in the '98 edition.
yeah. Well, anyway, Killmonger eats this.
By the
herb.
way, everybody.
You have to be worthy to eat this thing, or it'll kill you.
Okay. It's
So
almost
he-
like
yeah.
Thor's hammer.
Yeah. So he ate it, and that's what happens. It's like I don't know if that's how it's going to play out in the movie, but you know.
Well, I'm also wondering if T'Challa is going to destroy the vibranium, or
They're not going to destroy the vibranium. Everything in Wakanda, vibranium is their most precious resource.
No.
The reason it's like it absorbs shock and sound and whatever, and so it's able to manipulate and form like that. However, it's able to form. I saw some video where they
No.
explained how it
So
works.
no, that what Yabi's talking about is something that happened in the comics where it was getting out of his control.
Yeah.
And he said that he would destroy all of it so that it wouldn't go into the wrong hands,
Right.
and what his people were doing with it as well. But I don't think you see that until like Black Panther 3. I
Right.
think you just in that arc of where you say that vibranium is so important, and then this thing that was so important, just like in the end. And think about this. I want to point this out.
Right.
At the end of Iron Man's trilogy, he threw away the suits, and we know he got him back, right?
Right.
But think of this symbolism.
That was
at the
just
end,
that was just to show Pepper.
No. But I'm saying that, just hear me out. So at the end of Iron Man's trilogies, he blows up his suits.
Okay.
At the end of Captain America's trilogy, he walks away from the shield. We already know that Thor will lose his hammer in Ragnarok from the trailers.
Yeah.
And so I think that just by that logic of this is the hero's journey, and this is what Tony Stark tried to say to Spider-Man, you're bigger than this thing.
Than the suit. Yeah.
Right? That's not what makes you a hero. It's what's in here. So I think that by the third Black Panther, he will get rid of the vibranium to save more than, or save Wakanda.
Well, if it's within the aspect of him saving Wakanda, then okay,
Yeah.
do your thing.
I don't think
But
that's
I'm
gonna
saying
happen
if,
this movie.
but if it's
You-
in,
you-
the,
I think
if
we're
it's in
jumping
the
ahead of
aspect of
ourselves.
him destroying,
Let's get this good movie. But okay, so there's a few things that I want to ask.
Wakanda, I'm not.
I just want to ask a couple of things about this movie. So first, and this I'm going to pose this question to both of you. There's some weird
I'm
law.
cautious.
There's some weird law that just got put into place, and you can only see one of the following two movies next year, and that is either Black Panther or Infinity War.
You're saying if there was a law?
Yes,
If
you
I
can
can
only see one.
one,
You can only see one, and you can never see the other.
and I could never see the other.
Black Panther or Infinity War.
Black Panther all day.
Black Panther.
You mean if you can never
See the other one.
ever?
Can't
Why
see
are
the
you
other
even putting this? Black Panther is my most anticipated. It's just like, okay, Infinity War. I'm gonna, so I've been waiting like 10 to 15 years to see that.
Is this
But-
including all the other films that have come out? Like
No.
you've seen those?
Those are fine. I'm just saying 2018.
You can't see
but
the other
you can
one.
only see one
but
MCU
That's what I'm
movie.
asking. So all these other films,
If you
you've
could only
already
see
seen.
one, which would you choose?
You already saw those.
And so it's leading up to Infinity War.
Yes. This is your
And
whole.
so you're about to finish your food, or
the sexy ass Black Panther movie just come around.
oof,
During Black History Month, man. You better throw away your black card. You don't say Black Panther.
He already lost that.
You here wearing a Malcolm X Goddamn sweater, you better say Black Panther.
Malcolm X has nothing to do with Black Panther.
Black-
Disney is pandering to your sense of blackness
And
by
neither does
watching
Gil Scott-Heron.
Black Panther in
Man, I don't care.
Black History Month. So check
I'll
yourself.
take the bone.
Oh, there you go. So check yourself. Now,
As long as you own it, just understand that.
But
you
the
know,
importance of this movie is not to be,
understated or
Yeah.
overstated.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm down for seeing Black Panther.
So instead of Infinity War,
Yes.
You want to know why,
wait.
really? Because I've seen all these characters. Black Panther is something I've never seen before. It's just like, even though we're going to see, okay, we ain't seen, like, Thanos in it. It's just like, we've been watching these characters for how damn long. We've never seen nothing like
Which is
Wakanda.
why I'm skeptical and cautious.
okay,
It's
so
just like they're going to fight
I'm not
some
gonna just sit up
non-important
here.
characters like Hawkeye is going to die
No.
and fucking...
I'm not gonna sit up here
Thanos
and
is
jump
gonna
up
lose.
as soon as
Nobody.
just show me anything.
Thanos
I'm
is
down
gonna
for
lose.
it. I'm with it. Throw me a bone. Let it
okay,
be
so-
a piece of cloth.
So here's the
Nah,
thing.
but
Here
even
we
Stan
go.
Lee, said of
Let's
all the
start
movies,
doing the dap.
Here's the
Stan
thing. I
Lee
wasn't
himself,
mad at that.
Stan Lee himself said he is most excited for people to see the Black Panther.
It's
movie.
easy for him to say that now.
No, he didn't say.
Stop that.
He didn't say that because that's the whatever's coming out.
You never
He said
know.
this. He said this way back before even the Thor trailer or the Infinity War. Any of these trailers were said. He said that was the one that
I
that
respect
he
the
want.
excitement.
And
I'm just saying, let's
let
slow
me
it down.
It
answer the
has
question
nothing to
now.
do with
Let's-
like hyping it up for the
keeping
movie.
things moving
Because
along.
He just said that.
Keeping things moving along,
Yeah.
I am gonna go with Infinity War. You know why? Because Black Panther's gonna be in Infinity War, and
That's
I've
not
been
the same.
waiting since
That's not the same as
2008
seeing.
for this
That's
thing.
not the same as seeing Angela Bassett.
No,
and
it's
Forrest
amazing,
Whitaker
and I didn't know
and
how much I wanted Black
Denai
Panther until I
Guerrero
saw Civil
and
War.
Lupita
Right.
Nyong'o.
But I wanted Civil War. I wanted Infinity War
Yeah.
since the rip.
Black Card revoked.
Hey, Black Panther gonna be in it, man. All I'm saying, if
Whatever,
I had to choose
relegated to a tiny role with like
You know what? I'm
40
not-
other superheroes in it.
Oh man, I got some heat for you.
You got heat.
I got
You
heat
got-
for you.
you got-
I'm gonna just leave. I'm not even gonna.
Okay.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
just leave
Now,
it. I'ma just leave it. I'ma
but just
leave
one
it.
one
Oh
last
my
thing I
God.
want to.
Okay, Steven.
One last thing I want to touch on
Django ass nigga, you.
that. See,
Boy,
see.
there we go.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. My next question is, what do we think is gonna perform better, Black Panther or Thor Ragnarok?
Oh,
Thor.
that's without a no. I think Black Panther. It's just
Because white people and black people gonna see it.
yeah. It's good. It's
Everybody
gonna
gonna
it's
see
gonna
that.
be a lot of.
There will be
I mean,
a
it's just gonna be a lot of
combination
people.
of black pride and white guilt that will
Did you not say
that will
Did you not
make
say-
Black Panther
Just
soar
comic
to the
fandom.
Nah,
top.
you gonna
It's
have
com- it's
mad
not
white
even that.
people
It's just
saying it's
comic
racist.
fandom.
I can't wait for that snowflake anger. I love it. But
He's
the
just
point
like,
is,
let me drink and bask in your white tears.
Oh, it's just it's comic fandom.
no. Honestly, though,
Everyone
all
No,
jokes
but
aside,
didn't you say that if you see anybody bootlegging that shit, you on your Tupac
I'm flipping
and kicking
tables.
flipping
I'm
the whole
flipping
table
tables.
over?
If anybody, no, but okay. So all jokes aside, serious.
All right, bring
This
it
is
around.
it's an important film.
Very important.
Very important. And I'll tell you why.
In
and
the
I don't think
context
we
of
can
comic book films.
not in the context of comic book films. Listen.
This will change the landscape of Hollywood for big budget
So here's
black
the thing.
movies.
Hollywood is a formula-driven industry,
Okay.
right? They find one thing and then they run with it,
Okay.
right? And when they find out one thing works, they will run with that. And right or wrong, this is what happens. And so if we're being pragmatic and we're talking about the results here, this is a film that has, obviously there's a staff of Marvel writers, but the primary writer is a person of color. The director, also a person of color. 90% of the cast, people of color.
Okay.
And if this does well, and it's anticipated to do very well, if it does well, Hollywood will want to repeat that formula and tell different kind of stories. Because I personally, I love 12 Years a Slave, and I love Thelma, and I love X, but
why
I
we
do want to
always gotta
see
be
us in more lights. Why do
oppression?
we, aside from
Or
oppression, we
downtrodden or
either
something,
need to
yeah.
be, the way we're portrayed on screen is either,
We're not portrayed as royalty. We've never what we're seeing now in this movie, we've never seen before.
so I mean, we have in different
No.
ways, like
Yeah.
because this
Not on this scale.
right. So I'm thinking about the budget and the economics of this thing, and the idea that we're saying yes, black director, we know that you have a story to tell, and writer, that you have a story that you can tell that will be marketable, that we can market to a mass audience, and let's tell more black stories. And so if this does well, the potential is there. Not because Hollywood has learned this lesson or become any more or less racist, just because when you think of the economics of it, if it does well, people will want to repeat that formula. You saw 12 Years a Slave came
Unless
out,
it's
it did
just a
well.
one-off.
No,
Like, you know.
no, people don't. Hollywood doesn't do that. 12 Years a Slave did well, and you saw the green light and funding of like 4 other movies that were like 12 Years a Slave. You saw
you mean
Free
like
State of Jones, and I know what you're gonna say with this Birth of a Nation. And you saw
Which
2
they
more
blackballed.
movies that just got that was the big craze. So what I'm saying is, I would love to see, and this is a different kind of story. And if different kind of stories work, then you'll see more diversity, not just behind the screen, but in the kind of stories we tell. But
can I say something real quick?
Yes, last thing, and then
The
we're
last
moving
thing, point to tack on to
Final
what
word.
you just said. You said all that, but how is it going to do well if hypothetically you wouldn't even go support the damn movie because you see an Infinity War? Boom!
You was holding on to that one.
Yes, the entire time. Like
Let
you're
it
full of
ride.
crap.
I knew you was waiting. I knew you was
Right.
waiting. It's okay.
I was just waiting for you to stop talking.
I knew
It's
it.
like you're full of crap.
I knew it. It's okay. It's all right there, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Just
But
eat that humble pie.
the next big movie coming out this year, Justice League.
Just change the
Just
subject.
change it. Just keep it moving.
I was already planning on changing the subject, buddy.
Alright.
You don't control me.
Yeah.
But Justice League came out with a new poster, which I'm not a fan of, and a new trailer. Mr. Woods, what do you think about that trailer?
So I am anticipated for Justice League, and there was something that I was reading that Aquaman is not going to be portrayed well, or I believe the actor. What is the actor?
Jason
Jason
Momoa,
Momoa?
the
He said-
Aqua Bro.
He said that people are going to be mad at his how Aquaman is supposed to come off or something like that. I thought he was supposed to be arrogant.
A
And
badass.
Yeah, but he's cocky, he's arrogant. He's a king. You know, he's a king of the
Well,
sea,
he's
so-
the thing he said is he's not a king yet. And so when you see him behaving the way he behaves in the film, it
He's
is
still,
because he
immature.
has been immature, but also not living in the kingdom. Like he's just
He
a
was on
guy
Earth.
that was there.
I mean, on regular land, I should say. And then it's just like you found out he had fish and then jumped in the water
I'm
and then
looking
figured
forward
stuff
to it.
out.
I'm looking
So
forward
and
to that, actually.
he's stealing the show. Him and Ezra Miller, the Flash, they're stealing the show. And so if
I don't
they
see that. I see my girl Wonder Woman.
No, but this is my point. That's what I'm coming to. If they can do well, right, to steal the show, to grab the hearts and minds of the audience,
Okay.
now you've got Aquaman, which people love, and Ezra Miller is bringing the comic relief, and on top of the beauty and success of Wonder Woman, and I don't think people hate Ben Affleck as Batman. I think there's like weirdness
who's playing
around it.
Batman in the Batman film.
Don't worry about that. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not what we're talking about right now.
All right,
we're
so,
talking about
well,
this film.
Right.
So I think there could be something special here. And listen, Warner Brothers has been doing all the right things as of late, as it pertains to what they're doing with this movie. Like they took Lex out of it. They got 5 points from me right there.
Even though the sound or the music choice seemed a little corny for
I don't
the
know.
trailer.
I kind of liked it.
But no, I mean, this I'm interested in watching. I want to see the Justice League. The trailer got me more interested. This increased my interest in the film, where typically trailers don't do that. I'm indifferent about trailers.
There's a lot of like weirdness going on around what's up.
To jump back or backtrack on the last topic of, which movie would you see if you could only see one, Justice League or Infinity War? Shit, that's not even a freaking question. right?
Justice League. No, you can't compare that. You have to compare Justice
Can't
League.
compare it to Guy.
No. You have to compare Justice League to Ragnarok. You can only see one.
No, because
And what
it's
do you
like,
think
it's
is
a
gonna make
team
more
thing.
money?
It's a team thing. You can't
Hey,
compare
Hulk
it.
and Thor. It's the Revengers. You saw the trailer.
Yeah, but that's not the same. It's just
No,
like
but my point is they're both
because the Justice League is akin to the Avengers.
Yeah,
So
but they
you
didn't
can't-
build up to that.
They trying to
They
backwards.
gave you
like,
one Superman, and then it was like, yo, Wonder Woman, Justice League. Here we are.
So I just think
they
so,
tried to tack it together in a montage
Oh no,
scene
BVS.
at the end of BVS
we were trying to
where
erase
they
that out
on
of our
on
memory.
a
my
laptop.
point
You're
is-
trying to erase that.
But
the
my point
movie.
is, Joss Whedon is still right now cutting that movie up
As we speak.
as we speak, and it's coming out in a couple of weeks.
Jeez.
Right? They're giving him whatever he needs.
But
they
they're
did
staying
all
on
these
schedule
reshoots.
that's supposed to come out in November.
They don't have the tickets on sale yet. I still think they're gonna move it. But we'll see. But the problem is, if you move it, where do you move it to? Because Star Wars is coming out at the end of the month. But all that being said, so we're all excited about Justice League. Is that a yes?
Are you excited about this?
I guess I'm gonna see it.
Okay.
That
All right, but you don't.
It's
have
just
my
like
hopes.
I don't.
all
If
of his
it's
energy
just
is towards Black
decent,
Panther.
If it's decent, then I'm gonna be like okay, I'm gonna enjoy it. But it's just like they don't have a track record of things being good. Wonder Woman was okay,
So that's it.
so I can't.
It's all about-
because of that.
it's all about the
like
trends.
Jason Momoa
Oh yeah,
looks.
you didn't like Superman, right?
I didn't
Yeah,
like
like,
Superman.
We ain't talking about that right now. We ain't
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about that.
right.
Look,
Can
so
of
so
worms.
so you are meh on it. You gonna see it?
I don't see it, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I'm not excited by the trailer. It doesn't excite. Black Panther excites me.
that's not this year. We talking about 2017 right now.
It's within the next
All
couple
right,
of months. Bro.
One quick question: who's gonna do better at the box office this year? And who's going to be the highest grossing superhero film this year? Right now, it is Spider-Man: Homecoming at 879, and it's gonna probably go to 880 something this weekend.
You're
Because of that
asking me,
China
do I
one.
think these other two movies are going to surpass
Are
it?
they going to surpass it, and which one of them will do
It
that?
might take to the beginning of next year to do so.
That's not what. Don't worry about that.
Wait, is what movie? Justice League.
Thor.
or
Justice League
Thor?
and
Justice
Ragnarok.
League.
Who's going to
Beating
do more?
Spider-Man?
Will any of them beat Spider-Man, and who will do more than the other?
I feel like neither one of them might beat Spider-Man
All right.
because Spider-Man is such a well-known character.
But you're saying a Justice League movie can't crack 900 or $1 billion. The
What is-
Justice League.
Yo, if those
What
reviews
did
come
BVS
in
make?
bad,
BVS was like 830 something.
after it was all said and
Or
done.
no, 874. Sorry,
After it was all said and
all
done.
said and done, 874.
And this is about to hit 890.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man's gonna hit 880. It's basically at 880 right now. The China numbers report a little bit late, but
I can't see Justice League beating Justice League though. That's crazy.
Justice League. You don't think Justice League can make $1 billion?
You know, it's just because BVS was. Oh man, how did BVS make all that money? It was trash because it was Batman and Superman.
Exactly. This is Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, coming off of a good Wonder Woman movie. So again, we got to move on.
All right,
Quick,
all right.
shot
Real
clock,
quick, yes
baby.
or no? All right, yes or no? For one, I think Justice League will make more than Thor.
Okay.
For three, I think that Justice
See what you did
League
there.
will not make more than Spider-Man.
So it will not crack $1 billion, Justice League.
It will not crack a billy.
And Thor will make even less. So you think Thor
What-
versus
what
the
do
Hulk?
we-
I don't mean that. Like,
830 something million?
And BVS made what?
874?
It depends because are they
it's gonna
dropping
be in the
another?
eights.
And this shit is coming out in like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
3-4 weeks.
2 weeks after Thor that this thing comes out.
2 weeks after Thor.
Yeah.
So that's expecting people to drop seeing Thor and going to see Justice League. I think it's gonna happen.
I don't know, man.
Come on, give me an answer. Shot clock.
Do I think it's gonna win?
Do you
I mean-
do you think it's gonna beat Spider-Man to become the number one highest grossing movie of the year? And also, do you think it will beat Thor?
This is difficult to gauge, but I'm gonna say no.
On either account.
On either account, none of them is beating Spider-Man.
Yeah, but do you think that now?
It
Okay,
will beat Thor.
It'll beat Thor. You think it'll beat Thor?
It depends on what the reviews are the first week. Like if word of mouth is good on Thor, then I can't really say. It's like it's up in the air.
I see it because Thor did. But yeah, we gotta keep it moving.
All right,
but
so
I don't see because Thor, the other two Thors, you have that meh, and this one
But
is
the
they're
Thor
saying
and
that
Hulk
this is
thing-
their best one, but still.
Thor and Hulk, like, because I might go see if it's hilarious and like they really go there and just Hulk is just like comedy gold.
I'm
gonna see
excited
it a
for it.
couple times.
I'm excited for
You
this.
know what I'm
All right,
saying?
so let me give you my answer on this thing. I think that Thor will be the highest grossing film of the year for superheroes.
Okay.
And I think that Thor will not crack $1 billion, but it will be over 900 million.
So it will. Okay.
This movie's gonna have like epicness and like slapstick comedy.
Right. This could be, it could get right all the things that, and I really love the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I think it could right the wrongs, the perceived wrongs of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
And go on to do 900 plus million, maybe $1 billion. But I also think that Justice League will beat Spider-Man as well. I think they will both end up in the 900s, but Thor will be more. But here's another problem for Justice League. Why I'm tipping Thor over Justice League. Because
Marketing?
no. There is another thing that also happens on
the
November 17th,
Punisher.
which is The Punisher.
Yeah.
Drops on Netflix. Now
The
here's
same day.
Wait,
That's
you
just
think-
Marvel
hold
just
on,
being
you think
Marvel
Punisher's
being
gonna, like-
petty.
I don't think.
No.
Marvel
So
will be
here's the
petty.
thing. Here's the thing
don't
about
think
that.
so?
That- look. Netflix can drop a movie whenever they want. They can drop a series whenever they want.
Okay.
They could drop it on any Friday before or after. Why would you put it out on November 17th? The same day as Justice League.
Yeah, but I think they're trying to sneak that in because of the situation that's been that happened in Las Vegas. So they're just
They
saying
were gonna put it out that day anyway.
It was supposed to come out in October. The trailer was supposed to come out that day, and they were supposed to have a panel at
when was
Comic-Con.
Punisher?
No, they were gonna have
when
a
was
panel
Punisher
at
supposed to
Comic-Con.
originally come out?
What?
There was a rumor that they might have dropped the whole season at Comic-Con that day, but that was just a rumor because I thought when I saw the first Punisher trailer, I was just there like, yo, and everybody was speculating like, yo, wouldn't it be super petty if Marvel dropped that shit the same day that Justice League came out? And sure enough, that's what they did. They were going to have a panel at Comic-Con and do all this other stuff, but it wasn't never going to drop it then. It was going to drop that same day regardless.
But
didn't they pull the
original
panel?
trailer? They did
because
pull the
of
panel
because
Because of Las
shooting.
Vegas.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but what I'm
So-
saying is,
And when was it supposed to originally drop?
No, they didn't have a date.
It
but
was always
supposed
going to
be
drop
in
on the
Oc-
17th.
No.
It was
But they-
always going to drop the same day as Justice League.
Here's the
Trust
problem.
me.
It wasn't always going to drop because if you look at the first trailer, at the end of it, they put a 10 for the month, and then they were spinning and didn't show you the rest. That's what happened.
They
in
might
the
have done
first.
31st.
What'd you say?
They might have done it. I don't
Yes,
know when
but
the
that's
31st
still
falls.
not November 17th. So it was originally supposed to come out in October, but Las Vegas happened, and so they didn't want it around there.
Right. So
So-
you're coming with the angle that they're being petty, which is I'm not.
It just kept
But I
spinning
think
up.
that there's a
Wait,
more of a way where you
they
can
showed
push
a
that
10
in.
and it just kept spinning
The
up.
other two numbers kept spinning.
But it didn't stop at a number.
It didn't stop at a
Right.
number.
Because that's just to show you, it could have kept going till it turned to 11. So there you go.
No.
10 was the number that was
That was the firm
static.
number. So it was like you knew it was coming out October something.
So
That
did
was
the
the
trailer
plan.
premiere in October?
The trailer premiered in September. And they
Yeah, so it was October something. They didn't tell you exactly when, but that's what I'm saying.
But again, it was supposed to be October, but the thing happened.
Vegas,
Right.
right?
It doesn't
So
matter.
what I'm saying is
It's
that
inconsequential.
it's not. I don't know if it's so much petty as it's let's just sneak
It's
it in
super
during
petty.
Justice League, and nobody's worried about.
I'm just saying
guns.
every time, and this has been going on since the comics.
Always.
But every time
they do something.
Justice
DC
League.
has
DC
something
tries to
come
do
on,
something.
Marvel
Boom.
just
Right on the table, bro.
I
lay
think
it
there's
out.
certain people who understand that reference.
So
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hole.
that
Right.
is
So you think they're keeping it going, right?
I absolutely look, man. Those things are fun. But also that you could make the argument that they just want to.
They want all the money.
Look.
They want all
people
the
are
attention.
gonna go and see Justice League, and they're not gonna be watching it all weekend. So people may want some more superhero action when they get home, and they can come home and watch, Punisher.
Or you're saying that
Nah, but it's just like if it's bad weather that day, it's just like I could wait to see Justice League. Let me just stay home and watch this Punisher shit.
Got him.
See?
But speaking of Netflix and No Chill, Stranger Things 2 dropped a couple of trailers over the last week or so.
it was something of a thriller.
Ooh.
See what you did there.
Was it horror or was it thriller?
That shit looks scary. I mean, but
It's
it is.
looking good.
It's just. I mean, it's not a. It's a TV show, so it's not like the genre of horror
Why?
because it's a TV show. What horror TV show is there?
A lot of horror TV shows.
Name
Like
one.
American Horror Story.
Oh yeah, you just shut my whole argument down.
I like that.
Sit your ass.
It's in the title.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like suspense.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this falls under horror. I think I know what you're saying, but it does a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
It is more than just one thing, and you can't put it under thriller. You definitely don't put it under drama. Is it coming of age? But no, I am very excited. Now, I will say this at the risk of being labeled blasphemous.
Here we go.
I thought Stranger Things season 1 was good, but I liked it better. And I was
You mean
late
the
to the
movie
game.
It?
The movie
You were late
It.
to the game.
Yeah, I was late to the game, and so maybe some of the thing was spoiled. But I just
If
heard
you had
people
watched,
talking about it.
if you had to watch Stranger Things first, it would probably feel different.
No, but I tried to, and I watched like 1 or 2 episodes, and I kept like falling asleep on it, and then I
But
put it
is
down,
like way. It's
and I
just like
came back to it after it.
the what's his name again?
Wolfhard.
Wolfhard. Yeah. Yeah. Him, Finn Wolfhard. Or what is it?
Yeah.
Him in it, even though he was like a secondary character, stole the whole show. Just with the stuff that he said, his one-liners. So it's just like it for the comedic aspect, and just the fact that it had personality as opposed to the Golgothan or whatever, who doesn't talk or whatever, and you don't really see it much. So it's like it is just better, but still, it's not. For what it is, for a TV show, it's one of the better TV shows out right now.
Absolutely. It's one of the best shows on Netflix. Very well produced. I'm just saying,
it's very similar.
The way people talked about it, maybe people just overhyped it for me.
It was good to me.
I don't want to hear it.
After I saw it, I was just
good.
there, and the way they ended it, it's just like, oh man, I want to see how this story keeps progressing.
No, it
it
was
caught
good.
me. You don't even act like you're not going to watch it the first day.
No,
it
I
premieres.
absolutely
Upside down
am.
world.
Yeah.
But I think we are in the upside down.
Currently, see what you did there as well.
But again, I liked it. I'm just saying, like, the way it was talked about to me was like, okay, calm down. But Mr. Woods,
It was great.
No, it was, and the trailer looks amazing, especially with that
With the thriller
the
music.
Vincent Price.
Okay, backtrack, because you said you didn't like the music on the Black Panther trailer.
We are moving forward. We're not backtracking.
But I'm just saying,
Always
the music
progression.
with the thriller, it's just like when you pick the right song to go with the trailer, it can make or break a trailer, or just your perception of the trailer if they pick the right song.
But I'll say just like, and
Like
this is the
thriller
last
and
thing I'm saying about Black Panther, but it didn't kill the trailer for me. I just didn't like the choice of music. I could watch that thing on mute or watch it with the Run the Jewels
You said
playing
you liked
in the
it
background.
better on mute because the music was that bad to you.
I wasn't a fan
Not
of
a
it.
fan
It
of Vince Staples.
No, I don't think I like his voice.
Because we young now.
Yeah, no, sir.
There's
I
some
don't like
things
it.
of Vince Staples I rock with. You gotta listen to.
No, I don't.
Some of
I don't have to do that at all.
Summer 06,
Nope.
man.
But anyways,
Summertime
Vince
06.
Staples is cool.
are you excited for this?
I
You
am.
didn't finish the
I
first
am,
season.
but I didn't finish the first season, and so I know that in itself is problematic. But
But you watched the trailer.
I did.
You did it for your country.
You got to do some type of homework.
Yeah.
You like that, don't you?
Yeah. You're just putting these things in there.
Throw them in there.
Throwing them in there.
God and country, baby.
No, but I am excited. I am going to finish Stranger Things season 1.
Did the trailer for season 2 ruin season 1 for you?
No.
Okay.
I didn't extract enough information from season 2's trailer.
It's like a big character in there. I don't know how far you got. But anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay,
just slow
so
down.
he knows 11.
Slow down, buddy. Just take it easy. Take it easy.
All right. I'm just saying.
All right.
I mean, well, he knows that this kid isn't dead because he's in the trailer.
Speaking of Netflix and speaking of Stranger Things, which spawned the It movie from Stephen King. Stephen King is having a good year.
Speaking about Stephen King properties.
Yeah.
Well, he's having a good year in that they're making, films based on his work.
Yeah.
Because, it can be argued that, The Dark Tower didn't do what it was supposed to do.
You can't you don't have to. That's not an argument.
Yeah, that's
it didn't
fact.
do what it was supposed to do.
But that's not Stephen King's fault.
No, it's not. It's not. But also,
they butchered that.
I would implore people to
death.
check out a show called Mr.
Idris Elba
Mercedes.
was good in it with what he was given to.
That is another Stephen King property that's a pretty good show.
But
so I hear.
Is this on Netflix as well?
To get
It's
back
not
on track,
it's
we
like on
were
Netflix.
talking about
Stuff is
Stephen
all
King
in.
properties and
Yes.
a film called
Gerald's Game.
There We Go.
Now, tell me what you thought about this thing, Mr. Woods. Did you see this thing?
I did not.
You didn't see
So
this
I
thing.
have to sit
All
on
right,
the
so you
sidelines for this one.
sit down like
And listen, yes.
5-year-old that peed on himself.
Yeah.
Does it have to be a 5-year-old peed on himself? I can't just sit down and listen.
Do you
Why
want
would he
number
just
2?
be sitting in his piss?
Because you should be ashamed. Because we already taught you how to use the potty.
Man, and you're
Right,
a bad
all right.
parent because you just letting him sit in his
Yeah,
piss.
just like word.
He has
Why
to
not
learn.
send him away? Why don't send him to go clean himself up?
All right.
Clean yourself up.
You're
Clean yourself
terrible, man.
up.
You're terrible.
What was it?
Throw somebody.
Look at yourself.
But back on track.
No. Gerald's Game.
all
So
off the rails.
tell me about this movie. Tell me about this movie, Gerald's Game. On Netflix, you can watch it now.
It is an excellent piece of filmmaking. This movie,
Quite so.
they gave actors who would be considered B or C or even D listers.
Jeez, under the bus.
And I mean, it's like you've seen
D-listers.
these actors in a bunch of things, but never with
Watchmen.
starring roles.
So,
Oh,
you know what?
never
Let me sit down.
or it's just like
Why don't you get on the IMDb's so we can talk about the names of these actors and actresses?
I mean, he said D-level actors.
Throw them under the bus, man.
I'm not saying they're not A-listers. They're
Gotcha.
not, what I'm saying, household names.
Got you.
Either one of them. It's just 2 actors in it, but what they're given to work with, both of them do an excellent job. It is a tour de force of acting. The female in it, what is her name?
Well, her name is Jessie in the movie, but it's Carla Gugino.
Yes. Just how she was able to be vulnerable and just make you believe.
Okay,
that,
well, let's tell them what the premise is here. So
the premise of the movie is basically her husband Gerald is they're trying to rekindle their marriage. So he takes her to a cabin in the woods, right? And he's trying to get his freak on or whatever. He tries to get all 50 Shades of Grey, and handcuffs her to the bed.
Well, let's
So-
Can I go with the plot summary?
So read it to us from IMDb.
Well, I see exactly. It says, when a harmless game between a married couple in a remote retreat suddenly becomes a harrowing fight for survival, wife Jessie must confront long-buried demons within her own mind and possibly lurking in the shadows of her seemingly empty house.
That doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, you should have just let me say what I
It's a
said.
summary.
No. I got another one for you. Hold on.
Oh man.
While
Let me go and sit
While
back
While you're
again.
reading stuff, I was gonna give you originality.
no, we gonna get you a take.
Whatever.
While trying to spice up their marriage in a remote lake house, Jessie must fight to survive when her husband dies unexpectedly, leaving her handcuffed to the bed frame.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's better
And
than what I
then
had.
hilarity ensues. Tell us about that, LeVar.
Yeah. So basically, she's left to confront her demons because this is going to be a spoiler for you if you have not seen
It's
the
actually
film
in
yet.
the trailer. It's not too much of a spoiler, but go
Well,
ahead.
anyway, through some freak accident, Gerald fell and busted his head and died.
While she's handcuffed to the bed. They was getting
While
freaky.
she's handcuffed to the bed. But it's just
What
because
would you do?
she bugs out because she didn't go with it, and she's like all stop and gets all weirded out by it. But this is because she has
Well, let's not give him all
spoil
that. That's not give him much. She got weirded out.
She got weirded out.
As
by it.
anybody may get weirded out
But
if they're handcuffed to a bed.
Her husband is older than her, and he can't get it up like that. So he's popping Viagra's.
Like they was Tic Tac.
Like they
I
was
like how the
fucking
plot
Skittles.
keyword says handcuff, handcuffing a woman, handcuffed to the bed, handcuffed woman, handcuffs.
But
Viagra.
anyway,
And then it says
Because of-
Viagra.
popping all this Viagra, he has a heart attack.
While she's tied up to the bed. And no one knows they're there because it's a remote cabin.
Yes.
And they arranged it because they wanted to be there alone, so no
Because
one
he
would
wanted
come.
to be.
This is
there.
absolutely based on a true story.
Yeah.
I'm just
So
saying.
anyway, during this time, she's
True
there
story
chained to
from
the bed
Stephen
and
King.
doesn't know how she's gonna get out.
Start doing retreats with
And
your wife, man.
during
Stuff
this time,
happens.
she's left to confront her demons.
And don't give him too much more, but she does start to go crazy and see some things.
But you would too, because at first,
All right, I'm gonna watch.
I was
this.
not sympathetic with. I was just there like, yo, if she had just S to D and just been.
This is
you know,
on Netflix.
On
It's on
Netflix right
Netflix.
now, just dropped.
All right.
If
I'll
she
check
had
this out.
just been, a wife and just submitted to her husband and just went along with it. This is what I was thinking.
Don't even stop him.
Then then none of this would have
Keep
happened.
the camera on cue.
But after you see what happened to her, then you realize, oh shit, I'm a piece of shit because she had a very troubled past. I'm not
don't
gonna
mess
tell
anything
you
yet. Don't
what
mess.
happened, but you get why she is the way that she is. Like
Oh, okay.
everybody has a.
How
a
heavy
See
is
how
that shovel?
see how he brought this home.
I realized the error of my way, and you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
No,
For
you
the first
shouldn't.
20
And
pages.
just judge it by the trailer.
But it's a very good film. I
Very good
highly
film.
recommend it.
But
Okay, here we
Stephen
go.
King
check it out.
does not stop there. There's another movie that just came out on Friday. If you want to check it out, it is called 1922, also based on a Stephen King novel.
Wow, so that's 4?
Yeah, and
4 properties
this
in a year?
thing
Why is
is.
Stephen King just on a
Making
roll
all
like
the
this?
monies.
I mean, we don't know how much he's getting paid for these.
He's still getting paid.
He's licensed out the right to his stuff. But
Still getting a check.
So this is starring Thomas Jane, the not
What?
the original Punisher, but
I
the
have-
second Punisher.
Stephen King is always into murder.
The red-haired one or the brown-haired one? That dude?
Yeah, the first newer Punisher movie.
I do
Wasn't
remember that.
garbage?
Yeah, but that's besides the point. I'm saying it's Thomas Jane,
Very
and
forgettable.
he does not resemble himself at all. He puts on this southern accent that was off-putting at first, but it was you sort of fall into it. What is it about? And this is in the trailer. Again, I'm not. It's in the trailer, so I don't consider it spoilers. And if you think it's a spoiler, I'm sorry. Whatever. But a man has a family. He has his wife and he has his son. And his land and his son are his pride. But his wife wants to sell the farm and she owns it because she inherited it from her father. And he decides to convince his son to help him murder his wife and his son's the mother of his child. And the movie deals with the aftermath of them committing this act. And it is crazy. And it's Edgar Allan Poe-esque. Do you know the story of the guy who heard his own heartbeat, but he thought it was the person that he had killed in the floor?
Yes, it kept knocking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is like a film that is reminiscent of that, and I cannot recommend this thing more. I don't know if I tell you to watch this or actually I'd probably go with Gerald's Game first, but amazing follow up for
add-
more Stephen
I have
King action.
absolutely no opinion on this one because I haven't seen it.
I'm
Let
the
me
only
ask
one-
you. Let me ask you guys questions, and
You're the only one
you
seen
can
it.
you can key in on the Gerald's game, and you can key in on both. Obviously, do you think these films are in some way like Oscar worthy? Any of the
Let me-
performances,
Can
let me-
movies?
because we
This
know
is
the
another question.
we know the problem of Netflix, and
Yeah.
with what that causes and why Hollywood wants to keep them. But do you think these type of films and how these actors are going about with this work, which y'all both are praising and lauding, like, yo, this is really good, with the stuff that they got, the material, how they're doing this thing.
But
how
I
it's
think
casted.
that
do you think
movies-
this stuff is like
Yeah,
Oscar worthy?
Emmy worthy.
Or
Golden Globe
well, Emmy
worthy.
is
Well, Golden
Emmy
Globe
is
worthy.
TV.
Yeah, Golden Globe worthy.
You know what Netflix is trying to reach for.
No. So here's the thing.
I
Just-
mean, but if Netflix has shows, shouldn't they be nominated for Emmys as
they
well?
are nominated for Emmys and they
Exactly.
win.
No, I'm talking about.
For
But you're
movies.
talking about movies. So here's the thing.
Well, the Golden Globes at least. I mean, I feel that if the movie is good enough, any movie, it doesn't matter where it's released. If it's released on YouTube exclusively or wherever exclusively, if it's a good film, then it should be considered. Because the world, like if it's seen by however they gauge these things, but if enough people see it and it's acclaimed, then it should be considered.
Okay.
That's open.
That being said,
stuff.
the answer is no.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why the answer is no. First, just like technically it's not possible because Netflix will have had to have released it in at least 3 theaters or something like that. Those are just the rules.
Right.
In order to, because it is the film, it is the Academy.
Right.
The Academy
I
is for
understand-
film, so
I
it needs to be
understand
released
the
in theaters.
rules,
Now, but what you're asking
but
is,
you know what I
are
mean.
they Oscar-worthy films?
That's
And
an
I
old
will-
way of thinking. It's like how the music industry didn't want to change over.
No, I
because
understand
people-
that, but you
whatever.
can have another award
And
for
it's just
that.
like how
the
people are moving
Oscars
away from
is
watching
about.
TV and they watch things on the internet. It's
I
just
understand.
like,
I understand. But
you
the
gotta
same
move
way
with
the
the times,
Emmy.
bro.
No, that's
saying,
fine.
should they
You
have a
need to.
seat?
You
They
need to
need
have
to
another
have a seat.
award show for
It's
that.
just like even with music, the way they count it now, it's just like they count streams from YouTube as
That's
part of your
all
sales.
fantastic.
They count streams from
That's
like
all
if it's
fantastic,
30-second
but-
clip on Instagram, that's counted towards your sales
all
or
fantastic.
certifying it as platinum. However many views or plays or clicks that got, it counts towards your sales now.
All fantastic.
So I mean, these things should be. I mean, maybe it will change, but that's not the rules now.
That's not the rules now. And again, or you could have another award show. But I do suspect that it will change. I think there's the tide that's moving. But that said, I think that you grade Netflix shows on a curve, which is this movie is great for something that I could watch in my boxers. And I'm not taking away from the movie, but I would have felt differently about it if I got out, went to the theater, paid $14, and then bought some nachos.
I wouldn't pay
So,
$14
but that's
to
what
watch
I'm
this
saying.
movie.
Would
But
you,
it was
if this,
great
if this
for
was
some-
in
It was a great
theaters,
movie for something that
if
was
this
free.
was in theaters, would you be mad? Like, what did I just watch? What did I just pay for?
Nah, it was
That's
still
what I'm saying.
a
The
good
performance
movie.
I
conveys
think
you,
they
like,
would
you
have
know
been. No. Honestly, I think they could have been. I think they were the quality to be in theaters, but limited release, and it wouldn't be a movie that a lot of people would see. And I
would not
probably-
have seen it because I don't see movies like this or pay to see movies in theaters like this because it was free. And he recommended it. It's like, yo, watch the first 5 minutes. If you don't like the first 5 minutes,
Right.
whatever. So it's just like I watched the first 5 minutes. It was like, oh shit. Okay.
So even though you say no, but this continues to open that door where Netflix
And from
should
you
have a
start
seat at the
watching it, it
table.
got you.
Right. No. It is great. And here's the thing. What I am so excited about with Netflix and and Hulu, and because Hulu has The Handmaid's Tale
Right.
and a bunch of other things.
Don't forget
the
Amazon.
point-
Amazon,
and Amazon,
exactly.
yes. And so all of these
The Tick.
home internet service networks, they are spending billions of dollars and funding projects that otherwise would not get made.
Right.
Will Smith has a project coming out called Bright that is about.
When
it's
does
a
that release?
It releases in December, right around Christmas. So the premise of that film is it takes place modern day, like 2017.
Right.
But what if all those fantasy stories were true?
They got
We just
magical shit.
Exactly. So wizards and orcs and magic wands and all those things still exist, but time moved on because in fantasy stories they're always stuck in like the 1500s or so. Now this is like present day. They have police cars. but they're
It's like
orcs
Men in Black
and elves and things like that.
slash, Men in Black.
I wouldn't even say that. I would say it's like, I don't think we've ever seen anything like this.
Without the comedy.
There was this movie in
There was a TV show like this, where the partner was an alien.
Yeah, it was aliens,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like fantasy and orcs and stuff. So to me, it's very original. And I just don't think that would get made, and I think that that's a good thing. And I think that a studio may or may not have made Gerald's Game or 1922,
Right.
but Netflix would make it, and that made my weekend because I got to watch two very cool movies that otherwise I probably wouldn't, and it just wouldn't have been on my radar.
Okay.
So
But
do you
the
think
convenience
Will
of it being
Smith's
there is great.
career that's a bad look that he's doing straight to Netflix movies?
No. You know why?
No.
Because they spent $100 million on that movie, and
It's
he
the
still
most
got
expensive
paid
product.
$20 million.
He still got his cut.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
and
get his cut, and it's just like he doesn't have to worry about how it does in the box office because people are gonna watch it because they pay for it anyway.
and Netflix, because they're trying to get that Oscar and raise their status, they're spending another $100 million.
But Will Smith ain't never winning an Oscar.
no,
Jada effed
not-
it all up for him. It
No,
don't matter if the movie is the greatest movie ever made in ever. It's never happening because of Jada.
what?
You will never
he's
win an
talking about
Oscar.
Oscar So White. We're not doing
Yeah.
that right now. But the
But I'm
thing
just
is,
saying, you were talking about Oscar
no,
and Will Smith. It's
right.
never gonna
But
happen.
my
for him.
point is, as far as degrading the quality, Brad Pitt just did a Netflix movie where they paid him a bunch of money. They're paying Martin Scorsese is doing his next gangster film that he's already cast Robert De
Exclusively
Niro,
for Netflix.
Joe Pesci, and possibly Al Pacino. I'm not sure, but it's definitely Robert De Niro.
This
Joe
is definitely
Pesci.
like
Martin
reminiscent.
Scorsese film on Netflix.
Okay.
So
It's
they're not
definitely-
playing around.
yeah.
And it doesn't lessen your character because Martin Scorsese wanted to make this movie, but right now Hollywood doesn't think gangster movies will do well.
And Netflix
so-
is writing their
and
mother effing checks
because they're making so much money so they can afford it, because they are hedging against the idea that all these studios are going to get wise and pull all their content. We see Disney's going to do it.
Right.
It's only a matter of time between Warner Brothers and Sony and these other
Yeah.
guys. So they need enough content. So they're investing now and spending billions of dollars. And I say to you filmmakers, come up with a script. Try to put something together. Get yourself in a room with Netflix and try to get some of that Netflix money, because I know I am.
basically.
That being said, we are going to move on to our final topic of the day, which is what is happening tomorrow is about to be all out war on Negan, bitches. Rick Grimes is ready. Rick means business Grimes, I like to call him, is coming back with a vengeance. He does not care, and he's coming for blood. So, LeVar, tell me are you ready for this season? Can it live up to what Game of Thrones did? Do you care anymore?
Yo,
is Walking Dead
all
done?
I'm saying is Walking Dead better be lit this season. I don't want the bullshit with it's just turned up for the first episode, then drags the hell out for
Right.
everything else, and then something else in the mid-season finale and turn up again, and then turn up on the last episode. At least 8 out of the 16 better be turned the hell up.
LeVar, let me
all
ask you a
the
question.
way. Like Game of Thrones set a bar.
LeVar, let me
Game
ask
of
you a
Thrones only
question.
did 6 episodes though.
It does-
Hold on.
So if you get
It was-
six
it
good
was 6
episodes,
episodes?
this
No.
season was 6 episodes.
Hold on, LeVar. Yeah,
Or
yeah,
was
it was,
no, it was 7.
No,
it was 7.
episodes.
Seven.
You're wild.
LeVar, let me ask
so
you
if
a
it's
question.
twice as many, then half of them better be good.
Do you
Every
need to
episode.
So
see?
you need 7 good episodes.
I need,
Do you need to
7.
see every single
16
episode
episodes?
have you
16
going
episodes.
crazy?
so then I need 8 good episodes.
Do you need to see every single episode have you going crazy?
I don't need to see Tara in a fucking dyke town freaking doing dyke shit.
Wow.
Press stop.
I'm not co-signing that.
Listen.
Well,
That's all, folks. No.
No offense to the LGBT community.
write your apologies now. By the way, Marty McFly on Twitter.
There it is.
Send all your hate that way. So
But besides that, the last season
Oh my
dragged
God.
out, or even like the farm season, or like I don't want that because it's just like Game of Thrones was too good.
No.
It's just
but,
too
no,
good.
No, but you can't. I don't.
It's
I don't
two
know if
different
I-
animals, but it's just like clearly, Walking Dead is just like the only show that AMC has going that's making them money or the most money, and they want to keep that going, but don't. And it's just like y'all making all this money off commercials. I don't want to see commercials and then it dragging out where y'all just talking and nothing's happening. I'm sure the story is moving forward, but the pacing has to be.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I need more bang.
I don't think that you need. I do think they need to streamline
more cowbell
what they're doing. Hang on. So, excuse me. All right. No, but I think that you don't actually need more explosions for the story to be better.
I just need better writing.
Most of Game of Thrones didn't have what you had this season. And by the way, Game of Thrones, it was a lot of talking, and I loved all of it.
The writing is better.
Yes, it is. But that's not what now it is.
The writing is better.
Well,
what? Wait, what?
No.
Time out. This is not about Game of Thrones. The writing was crappy in Game of Thrones this season.
There was a lot of convenience, but
there was a lot of convenience. But
don't get me wrong, the episodes was
the story is just better.
But Game of Thrones,
it's just like the threat.
Is horrible.
The threat is like because of what the zombies in Game of Thrones can do, and compared to what
White
they
Walkers.
are, you know.
No, but
the
again,
White Walkers compared to zombies, it's just like, come on, man.
Well, I just want to say something that this is something from Christopher Nolan. I'm sure you respect Christopher Nolan's take on filmmaking and telling and storytelling. So he made the movie Dunkirk recently, which you saw. Did you see Dunkirk?
I've not seen it.
So Dunkirk was a great movie, but
seen the trailer.
But Dunkirk was a film that was only 90 minutes. And why did he say that? Because he said it was an experience, and you cannot keep that level of action going for too long without desensitizing your audience.
That is true.
And so
you're saying that they need less episodes of Walking Dead?
I do believe they need less episodes, but I'm saying they also do not. Not every episode needs to be turned up with action.
But that's why I said half of them.
No, because what happens is the reason you're on the edge of your seat and what they've done well in the past and maybe less so these days is that they spent time developing characters, and so when you lose one, you feel it and it hurts. And so if you do not spend the time slowing down, then you will not appreciate the speed and the explosions. They'll just be things that you don't care about. So they do have to take. Now, that's not to say that they're telling their story perfectly, because I have issues with The Walking Dead.
It's like certain people are just untouchable. Glenn was gonna die because Glenn Ben died. If you know the comics, it's just like it was inevitable. And Abraham is just like they just changed the way that he died. So it's just like if you read that was gonna happen anyway. But it's just like certain people you just feel like are untouchable. It's just like anytime they introduce new people, it's just like, I don't give a crap about them because they're just gonna die. They're just there to die. You know what I'm saying? So the stakes aren't as high. It's just like with Game of Thrones, it's more like you don't even know who to root for because the world is so big, and it's just like you get people's motivation. It's clear like Cersei's the villain, but it's just like you understand her motivations. You understand? It's just like everybody has different motivations, and it's about their families.
But the villains of
but they really, the only one who's like right is like Jon. It's just like F all this petty stuff, But we ain't talking about Game of Thrones. But it's just like Game of Thrones.
Okay,
is just better.
Yeah,
really quick.
Walking Dead, season 8. What do you feel is happening? What do you feel?
And Walking Dead was my show.
Yeah, really quick. I enjoy Walking Dead, right? And so I agree also with what Christopher Nolan has said in terms of keeping up that type of frenetic pace for that long, and you desensitize your audience. And actually, Denise Hoof and Greg Nicotero, this is way back, I believe, in season 6, when they had either 6A or 6B, but when they had invaded the complex, or maybe even 5, but when they had invaded, basically, it was very violent, very graphic, and what led up to that, and then the episodes after, it was so graphic and it was so action packed that they said we needed to slow it down because you just see all of this killing and stuff like that. Similar to what Christopher Nolan said, you need to slow it down.
It
right?
won't mean anything anymore.
Right. So you have to understand that there's value to life and death, which I agree. But the problem that I had with the previous season, and this has been explained on tons of community boards and fans alike, that they played around with their audience. Kirkman and Gimple, to me, I feel that they were comfortable in their, okay, we have a Walking Dead audience. Everyone likes it. We can play around with Glenn's death, even though it's coming. And then the following season, I kind of got distracted. This was the first season that had passed. Actually, the last season that had passed, where I wasn't as interested or quick to jump to see what happens next, because I was so pissed off with how they treated the season finale, right? And so over time, it took them, for me personally, it took them that entire season for them to gain my trust back, to say, okay, I'm looking forward to what's happening.
Did they succeed?
It's like, I'm here talking this crap about Walking Dead.
Somewhat. So now here's the thing. Where's the payoff? And Gimple said that, don't worry, we're leading to this war, and you guys are going to be excited, right? Kirkman, Gimple, Nicotero, Denise Hoof, everyone who's on board, they know what they're doing. They know what they're walking into. Walking Dead. They know what they know what they're doing, and so this is supposed to be the payoff for the fans, for their loyalty, and that's what I want to see. Not every single episode being where I'm like, catching my breath at every single moment, but I need to have something to talk about every single Sunday. That's what Walking Dead was always about since its inception.
Honestly, so here's the thing. I think that
it shouldn't be an
afterthought. There was a lot of episodes last season where I was just like, where people would be like, oh, we'll talk about it. It's like, nothing really happened.
Yeah, it shouldn't be an afterthought. Yeah. It should be at the dining table.
But can it be for that long? Is it what show has run for that long and has kept it up for that long? Because here's the thing.
Talking about conversation wise or action or
yeah, I mean Game of Thrones does it, but this is what I want to come to and sort of where I kind of want to leave.
Back in the day, South Park.
So here's the thing. I think that and you have to, and I don't, this is not about Game of Thrones, but you have to bring Game of Thrones into, because they're both
those are different things.
No, I understand. So what I'm saying is, what is happening to The Walking Dead is that Game of Thrones is leading to somewhere, and they let you know that from the beginning. Mm-hmm. The Walking Dead isn't leading to anything.
Okay.
They said themselves they'll kill off every character and just keep introducing new characters. It could go on forever.
And so now, if you're telling me I'm invested in this thing,
Rick ain't never gonna die on that show.
If I'm invested here, but now you've basically told me there is no end. This just means you're cycling through emotional trials for the characters, and we're switching things up for the sake of switching things up, not for things on a more grand scale. And so that can desensitize me to things, because it's not, because I trust Game of Thrones even when they make missteps, because I know it's going somewhere.
Okay.
I know that The Walking Dead they're going to get through something this season. Some people are going to die, and you can tell when they're going to die when they're getting more screen time.
Don't care about.
And
it might be Carol.
When someone dies, they will go through a few episodes to go and mourn that person, and then they'll move on to a new thing. And so every season, somebody has to go through a thing.
But you're proposing as if you're interested in Game of Thrones based upon that there's a finale.
It's leading somewhere.
There's more than that to Game of Thrones, right? There's all the intricacies that happen.
Absolutely. Now here's the
conversations
thing.
of relationships and everything
here's
else.
The other part
double
of
crossing.
I think, and you alluded to this earlier, LeVar, which is The Walking Dead doesn't need to be 16 episodes a season, right? Because AMC
could stop when they do the mid-season finale.
Because AMC no longer has Breaking Bad or Mad Men, this is their
cash
golden goose, right? Cash cow. And so they need to fill it up with commercials, and they need to drag it out, as opposed to saying, I wouldn't mind if we said, hey, this season's only
how much Walking Dead merch there is.
8 episodes, and this season's only 13 episodes. We're giving you the amount of episodes that we have good story for, not filling things up for a commercial with no end in sight.
Where are the wolves?
So again, they'll bring them back when they need to, right? So, but I say all that to say the real problem with the Walking Dead is now I see that they're trying to expand the world. This is what introducing Negan and the Saviors and the Hilltop and all these other places. We're introducing these places so we can say the world is bigger and we can spread it out. The problem is, because the story began so narrowly focused on Rick, I basically tune out when Rick is not on camera. And Rick is captivating and he steals every scene. So for me, just give me the Rick episodes for like 8 episodes a season and I'm good. I don't need the rest.
But obviously The Walking Dead can't work like that because it's supposed to be bigger than Rick.
They try to expand the world, but because they introduced him...
Or does it just feel like they introduce new characters because they're not going to kill certain people?
They got to kill these new people.
So they got to get you attached to the new characters so that they can kill
it's
them.
It's like, he's pretty a good person. Oh, shit, they died. Like when Rick... You thought Rick was going to find love with the blonde-haired chick. It's just like, oh, she died. And her whole family died.
But no, because she was in the way of Michonne, so she had to die.
Yeah,
and her
but
son
we
was
never
a
even
clown.
knew the Michonne shit was coming.
She had 2 clown sons. She had to die because she raised them clown sons.
Don't come on now.
No,
and her husband.
Don't talk about that shit. It's like she was an abused woman, man. Come on.
Her husband, the porch dick.
Yeah, Porch Dick fucking abused them all, and it was his fault that the kids was all fucked up, and she was just living in fear. So you can't blame her for that shit.
No, it's terrible. And Rick coming into that town basically destroyed.
Rick was a piece of shit.
But honestly though, the Saviors would have came there and took everything from them anyway. So
it was gonna happen eventually,
right? No, but so that said, there was a lot in season 6 and people give it shit because of the Glenn thing and how they ended it. And my thing is this, in regards to Glenn and the season finale,
okay,
you get one of those things. You cannot do it twice, because the second time, pardon my,
you mean
effing with me, right?
To mess up
so,
like that.
So
okay,
no, it's not even messing up. If you want to do the cliffhanger,
you mean to play with the
right, because what they wanted to do is say, hey, these people don't know what's happening, so we want to give you that feeling. So for them, it's only a few days passing. He wasn't gone that long, but for us, it's 2 weeks. And again, if you're gonna do that Glenn thing in that season, it was more than it was like 3 weeks till they showed Glenn again, and it was the stupidest way. Like, oh, he was under a barrel, or a dumpster. Like zombies can't reach in there.
I thought you were talking about the crack of the skull.
No,
you're talking about
I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
I'm coming to that. So my point is,
oh my God,
you cannot,
he went under the dumpster.
You can't do that to us twice,
right.
Which is, okay, I'm just messing with the audience, so I'm going to fool you into thinking he's dead and not tell you what happens. And they got so much ratings from that. This is why I say the ratings are driving the storytelling, not the story.
Right.
That they said, we're going to do it again for the season finale. Right? So my thing is, you either leave the cliffhanger for the season finale, or you do the Glenn dumpster fire thing.
My small
you
defense,
get one or the other. You cannot do it twice, because we know why you're doing it now.
Right. My small defense of that, which I don't really want to defend him in that, but my in defense of that is that if it was a running gag to always make it seem like we're about to kill Glenn,
that's fine.
In horror films, like, that's a thing. So he's the guy that you're always up. He just made it. It always looks like they're about to kill him.
And I appreciate that. But again,
he's about to get cracked.
Cannot
all these
do
things.
that.
That
you can't do that and then do the thing at the end of the season. You can't, because now I've tuned out. It didn't work for them. They got the ratings to see who came back on, but look at how they dropped off.
Right.
They got like 17 million ratings for the opener, and then when people found out who died, they were like pissed off, and now they dropped down to like 12 million.
Yeah.
So again, was that worth it? Because they were like a dog that got a bone. Like, oh, a lot of people tuned in when they thought we killed Glenn. Let's go do it again at the season finale. And you can't do that.
Right.
But that season was action packed and it had so much there. Like Rick was the villain in that season. That's that same season. When the woman that with Portstick's wife and her kids, like that happened in there when they were all walking through the thing and they ended. That was dope.
That season was amazing. Right?
So let's not like crap on season 6. That was they had 6 straight seasons of amazing storytelling.
Right.
And last season, it was hard to watch Rick in like to bow down because we already saw him do that. So again, last season,
does he look?
I didn't. It's not that the storytelling lacked, but I don't know that I cared about the not Rick stuff, because Rick and Negan on screen is fire every time.
Right.
And now I'm ready to see a manned up Rick who's ready to fight against this. I'm hyped for this season.
It's going down.
But again, I just want them to just reel it in a little bit. And they always going to have my eyeballs. Unless they kill Rick, I will stop. Not even when I stop watching the show, I will stop watching that episode if you kill Rick.
All right. In closing, is there any main character that can get killed off that you're comfortable?
Everybody but Rick. All of them.
Even Carl?
Carl could
even
absolutely get it.
Wow. Even Michonne?
You
see?
I don't want Michonne.
I'd still watch the show, but I would be hurt. Michonne is the last person.
I be thinking that she is gonna die because her acting career in movies is too popular right now.
She over there in Wakanda now. She don't got time for The Walking Dead.
She played Tupac's mom. She was
a little extra in that movie, but
Dora Milaje. But I'm saying she's doing
that whole movie was like,
no, big movies.
she might bite the bullet this season, not because anything other than she's getting a little too hot out there for the show. And by the way,
well, they have to find a driving force for what keeps Rick going.
Yeah, like I mean that would be a crazy character arc for him, right? That would turn him.
But is there any? So all right, so you're cool with Carol dying?
Yes, at this point. No, it's not that I don't like her. I'm saying like for her arc, I think she's ready to go. And she would go out saving people. So for me, the thing that would stop me from watching the show is if they kill Rick. Anybody else could get it. And some things will pull at the heartstrings.
Daryl, watch your mouth.
Okay.
Come on.
If I gotta choose,
no, hold
on. And I'm gonna close out with this. You know what? We're gonna close this out. Look, this has This has been another fantastic episode of On the Reel, and this is the news edition. And we thank you for sticking in this long. And are you gonna watch The Walking Dead tomorrow, or today, if you look at when we're recording this? But that's besides the point. And what do you think about the New Mutants? Is Black Panther going to make more money? Are you going to dress like the King of Zamunda to go see the Black Panther?
Better not.
How do you feel about Justice League? What would you do if you were handcuffed to a bed when you was getting freaky with your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend? And would you kill your spouse if she was going to sell your farm? We want to know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. And if I got to choose between Daryl and Rick, I choose Rick.
Stop it.
God damn it. Rick, you can't kill Rick. And we are out of here. Thank you so much.
If Daryl dies, we riot.
Thank you.